Hello everyone, as promised yesterday, today I'm going to be showing you my Heartbreaker PvP build. We've shown you a PvE version of the build yesterday, which was super fun to use and very good. But I wanted to make Perfect Spotter work, so I put a build together around Perfect Spotter, and the more I looked at it, the more I thought about it, I thought this is going to work in PvP. So we went in a dark zone, we tested it out, and we absolutely wrecked with it. We went on a manhunt, had a lot of fun, and it worked very well. Now, this is by no means the meta way of making this build for PvP. That's not what I'm saying. I'll probably release a video about that in the future for sure. But this is just something that I put together very quickly, and it worked. Now, you've got a scanner pulse for days. By the time it runs out, you can use it again. The build hits very hard, and you have a little bit of survivability too. I really enjoyed it. I'm going to share this with you today. If you do enjoy this video, please do hit like and share to support it. Subscribe, as always, if you're new, for more content from me. You won't be disappointed. I cover a ton of Division 2 content, but most importantly, before you leave this video today, we have a fantastic gaming community. You definitely don't want to miss out. Come and check us out. It's linked at the top of the video description. So we're just going to get straight into the build now. You can see it on screen. We're going to talk you through this, exactly how I built it. And we're going to be starting with the specialization, which I'm using the grenade launcher specialization for. We'll talk about the specialization more at the end, because this is a matter of opinion, really. I like it because you get the 5% damage to target out of cover for you and your team. But there's definitely alternative specializations you could use that could work better for you. So we'll discuss that in a bit when we get to the weapon mods. The grenade I use is a concussion grenade, as always, and we're going to start with the Kingbreaker assault rifle. So this is what I have in my primary. The reason I'm using this is because of the perfect spotter piece on the chest, and what this does, it gives you perfect flatline. So new assault rifle that came in TU15, and it's really good. So with perfect flatline, it amplifies weapon damage by 20% to pulsed enemies, and after 2 kills, it will apply pulse to the next enemy that you hit. So that's a huge amount of damage to pulse enemies there. And on my flatline, I've got assault rifle damage, health damage, and damage to target out of cover rolled, all maxed out. Now, if we have a quick look at the mods, you want to get crit hit chance on the build, so I've gone with the 5% critical hit chance C79 scope. To be fair, on the PvP version, I'm going to switch that now. If, like me, you keep on hitting the right stick in because of your hands tensing up or whatnot, it's really annoying because those scopes. So throw on the rugged mini reflex sight instead, actually. That'll be better for PvP for sure. The mag I use is the 20 round mag. The underbarrel there is a small laser pointer with 7% critical hit chance. You get that with a demolitionist specialization. There'll be a 5% one as well. And if you go technician, I think this is where your laser pointer goes. And there's a laser pointer on technician that will pulse enemies that you hit. If you have that specialization, you can use that. So that'll work very well for the build as well, which is what I was mentioning earlier about the specialization. Each to their own. I prefer to have it set up like this and just use a scanner pulse, which you have all the time, as you'll see in a minute, and just hit headshots as well, because headshots will pulse enemies too. And finally, there's a muzzle break with 5% crit chance on as well. The secondary that I'm using here is mainly to get the stacks up. We'll go through the build in a minute, but it works on stacks, and the more stacks that you get, the more bonus armor and the more weapon damage you're going to have. And the rock and roll shotgun, I believe, is the best shotgun to use to get these stacks. I shown it to you yesterday in the PvE version of the video, and the reason for that is because it's basically the showstopper from the Division 1, and the stacks work the same. So how I roll this is the shotgun damage, damage to armor, and I roll accuracy on it. The reason for accuracy is so more pellets hit, so you get more stacks faster. I'm not looking to do damage with this gun, but I do want stacks fast, and accuracy is going to help that. Again, I put some accuracy mods on the gun to get even more accuracy, so more pellets are hitting, and it helps a little bit better at range as well, having that accuracy. The roll on the rock and roll shotgun is perfectly extra, where you get 50% magazine capacity. I did look at the ACS-12, which is the non-named version of this gun, but there wasn't any talents there that I felt helped, and I just thought perfectly extra was better than anything else. I did try steady-handed, where you get extra accuracy and stability, I think, when you hit your shots, but it doesn't work per pellet. It works per shot that you fire, and it didn't work. So this was definitely the best in my opinion, and is what I'm using. But you can use an ACS 12 as well and put any talent that you want on it. The sidearm is a TDI card custom, but that doesn't really matter. So moving on to the build, we're first going to go through the gear set Heartbreaker and what it does. I've got 4 pieces of it on the build, on the backpack, gloves, knee pads, and holster. The build itself, having 2 pieces, it's going to give you 15% assault rifle damage and 15% LMG damage. For 3 pieces, it'll give you 15% weapon handling, and for 4 pieces, you're going to get the Heartstopper talent, where headshots apply pulse for 5 seconds, and weapon hits on pulsed enemies add a stack of 1% bonus armor and 1% damage to pulsed enemies, up to a maximum of 50 stacks. 2 stacks are lost each second. So that's how the Heartbreaker works, and it works very, very well with how we've made this build. So with the backpack, you can see I've got weapon damage rolled and critical hit damage and a critical hit damage mod. For every single one of these pieces, you're going to want to find them with critical hit damage on, because you've got to roll weapon damage over the blue core, because they come with blue cores. So you see I've done it with the gloves, weapon damage and crit damage, the knees, weapon damage and crit damage, and the holster, weapon damage and crit damage. Now on the backpack, you do get this extra talent called Cold, which increases total bonus armor gain per stack of Heartstopper from 1% to 2%. I thought that'd work quite well in PvP, especially when you get those stacks up. You're going to get a ton of bonus armor from them while you're fighting, which will give you a ton of survivability in PvP. So that's that. You could use the chest piece of Heartbreaker as well. I don't on this build, because as I said at the start, I wanted to make Perfect Spotter work. So with Perfect Spotter, we'll go over that in a minute, what that does, but obviously I couldn't use the chest piece for this. But with the chest piece on this gear set, it increases the stacks from 50 to 100, which would make things really, really cool as well. I'm actually going to look at making this build with the chest piece and backpack at some point, and when I do, I'll get it out for you. But that's those 4 pieces covered for you. The chest piece Perfect Spotter, as we said, we'll have a look at now. So this is of the GCROCK brand set, which gives you 5% total armor. You get the armor core roll there, and what I wanted was critical hit chance and critical hit damage on this piece. So we've got that. I got a critical hit damage mod, and with Perfect Spotter, it increases total weapon and skill damage by 20% to pulsed enemies. This build's all about pulse, so you're getting that 20% to pulsed enemies all of the time, as long as they're not immune to it. And the mask on the build, what I thought was, with the 5% total armor from the GCROCK, I thought, well, let's go Gilligar, because that gives you another 5% total armor as well. So that puts 10% total armor on the build. It's another blue core piece, so we've got 2 blue cores on the build as well. And with this named Gilligar Nightwatcher mask, I thought we could really put to use the 100% scanner pulse haste. So I've got scanner pulse haste at 100% and a critical hit damage roll on that. Got the critical hit damage mod as well. That really makes that pulse come back so quick. It actually comes back before the effects of the pulse run out. Not on PvP players, but on NPCs. But to be honest with you, when you do scan a PvP player, because every single specialization comes with some sort of like pulse immunity, it will just run out, but literally within a second or two or a few seconds, you can pulse them again. And it's a constant pulse. It comes back very, very quick. We'll have a look at the cooldown now. The scanner pulse here has a 9.1 second cooldown with a duration of 9.6 seconds. So as you can see, against NPCs, you've got them pulsed all of the time. So it works very well on the build, that Nightwatcher. I highly recommend it. And it's just a way I thought of putting the build together to make it all kind of work and to have that fast pulse as well. I wouldn't run a Revive Hive. I forgot to change this out. You would have saw in the clip at the start, we run a decoy with that. I wouldn't run Revive Hives in PvP because people are just going to shoot them anyway when you go down. So run it with a decoy or any other skill that you like to use, maybe a shield. But shields have been nerfed in this update, so they're not as good. And with 2 blue cores, I don't think they're going to last very, very long. So I'd go a decoy with that scanner pulse. And that's the build. That's every single piece in detail for you. And it's really, really fun. I had a lot of fun in the DZ. I'll be using this in the future more in the DZ as well to keep on testing it. And I do highly recommend it. But as I said at the start, it isn't a meta build by any stretch of the imagination. And if we have a quick look at the stats before we finish here, you can see that I've only got it up to 33% critical hit chance with 146.3% critical hit damage. So it could be higher for sure, but I don't think that's bad for a PvP build. And I always rely on kind of running with some of a Coyote Mask as well to get that buffed, to get more chance and damage out of the build. But if you want a little bit more chance, just take off the critical hit damage mod or two and put chance mods on if that's what you want to do. But obviously if you're running with some of a Coyote Mask, then you're going to have a buff anyway, as long as they're not dead. And that is it for the build. I hope you've enjoyed that today. It's not the meta build. Do let me know how you'd make this around PvP in the comments, and when the like meta build for the DZ of this is released or whatever, we will certainly make that and release it. I've actually got another idea thanks to Milkman of making a counter build for the post, because we do think this is going to be highly used in PvP this season or until they nerf it. So there is like a counter build on the works as well, which I do look forward to sharing with you. It's just a big grind, so we'll get that to you as soon as we can. That's the end of this video. I hope you've enjoyed it today. Again, if you have, please do hit like and share to support it. Subscribe for more content from me. And now we are done, definitely come and check out our community. It's linked at the top of the video description. You won't regret it. Until next time, thank you for watching this. Stay safe and peace out.